Hi there, welcome back to Scribbles and Ink Stains. My name is Mary and I am today prepping for my 2022 Inkvent by Diamine. This is an advent calendar. Of course you're familiar with this. You all knew about this long before I did, since this is a relatively recent obsession for me. What I thought I would do would be set up my system, share with you what I'll be doing for the 25 days of the Inkvent. I will be pre-filming the first 2 days because I will not have daylight on the first or the second. When I come home it's already dark, and I thought I really need to do this when I've got at least a little bit of natural light coming in around me, around the windows. I do have 2 artificial lights on either side of this setup. Yeah, it's not totally ideal. Natural light would be far more ideal for color rendition, but we'll see what we get. If I encounter obstacles, of course, I'll try to remedy those as the Inkvent unfolds. So I thought this would be the perfect use of the December pages in my 2023 Hobonichi weeks. This will be my daily carry. I love having the 200 pages for notes and ink swatches and samples and currently inked notes in the back. I will probably use these back pages bullet journal style this year as content planner for this channel. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes I set up my plans in the beginning of the year and they change mid-course, of course, but that will allow me to continue through December in my current Hobonichi Weeks Mega. So this one is the sneaker version. I forget the color, but again, I still have quite a few empty pages. I typically end up with excess pages in the back, but I think this year, if I use my weeks as a content planner as well, that it should be pretty close to perfect for me. Okay, so in the monthly pages, what I'll do as I open each Inkvent calendar window, I'll swatch on the monthly pages in December, and then I will flip back to the December weeks and start my swatches and pen samples here. I may or may not add chromatography strips in the weeks. I really don't want it to chunk up very much, so probably what I'll do with my chromatography is place these in a longer form journal where every day of the Inkvent I will load up a fountain pen and do some long form journaling so I can really assess what these inks are like in fountain pens, which is how I intend to use them on Tomoe River paper. Those long form journal entries will go in my kind of my burn book, my daily pages, and I'll just start a new entry for each ink and write for at least 1 page, and I'll be able to share that with you. I've got all my supplies. I've chopped some cotton buds in half. I have, depending on whether it's a shimmer ink or a non-shimmer ink. If it's shimmer, I'll load it into my Pelican. If it's non-shimmer, I'll load it into my Benu. Both of these nibs are super wet nibs, and I feel like they're both easy enough to clean in terms of inking a pen for daily use. All right, so let's give a little bit of an overview. Diamine is a British ink company. This is not the first advent calendar. I'm not sure when they started. If you know, let me know in the comments below. You're going to see all kinds of content creators do this, so I feel like you'll probably visit more than one, and I don't want to pretend to be any kind of research expert on Diamine ink. This is strictly from the perspective of I'm a fountain pen and ink and planner aficionado, and I'm just looking for an excuse to get to know more inks and to get to know pens in my collection a little bit more deeply. This certainly makes me feel like I am in that festive mood. Okay, this one I can see through the window is called Bliss. This is a standard ink, so I will be loading it into my Benu. I'll be swatching on a coloring card in my Tomoe River paper and probably on some Midori paper, just so you can see all of the characteristics of this ink. These are 12 ml bottles, so it's a decent sized sample. I can tell what I'm not going to enjoy about this Inkvent process is all the extra plastic and the packaging. This is again, standard ink, so I don't need to really agitate it that much. I was actually hoping to get a bright blue. Oh, that's really lovely. Am I in camera? I'm actually really looking forward to this. I don't have anything like this currently in my blues. And it looks like it's a fine shader also. Oh yeah, really pretty bright turquoise. These are kind of my log books for inks. Let's get this loaded in a pen. And this is called Bliss. And it's in my Benu. Medium nib. Guess I'll do a little water test. First impressions of this ink is that I really love the brightness, and I am super excited to try it in not just medium nibs, but broad and even extra fine. I received a postcard once with an order from Yoseka Stationery, and the writing was in obviously an extra fine or a fine Japanese nib, and it was in the same kind of bright turquoise blue, and that put it on the map for me as far as future possible acquisition. In this section, we are just setting up the chromatography strips. You can see me drawing a baseline at the bottom of the strip, then I will dip it into the water for 1 full minute. So this might look a little chaotic, but I wanted to share with you a full-page writing sample. This is an excerpt from How High We Go in the Dark, by a novel by Sequoia Nagamatsu, which I am immersing in and really enjoying. Here's my swatch. The water sample, as you can see, not waterproof, but we knew it wouldn't be. The shading is beautiful. There is no sheen. The ink is very well behaved in a medium nib, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for joining me. Please stay tuned for day 2. Thanks. Ciao.